All right, y'all. So this is a first for the channel. We have an in-studio guest. Matt, have we ever had an in-studio
No, we actually
guest?
haven't.
I'm
Nope.
the first.
And
The first.
You have that high honor and pleasure of being our first, and we have an illustrious guest of world renown.
Yes.
Who is it?
Barry's
Oh,
Farm.
it's me.
So y'all are in for a treat. This is kind of impromptu, but we're great friends with Barry and his family, and they live near us. And something happened the other day, and it was hilarious because I went outside. It was sometime last week, and I saw something in the night sky. And, you know, there's a lot of irony in this. Recently just had on Matt Air about the hidden hand behind UFO. So we've been talking about UFOs. And simultaneously, last week, it was on Twitter or X or whatever, that there was all of this military activity in U.S. airspace, right? So I went outside. I like to do grounding, walk around in my bare feet and all that stuff. And when it's cool and nice, and I walk outside and I see this thing in the sky, and I'm like, and I start screaming for the boys, and I'm like, and I want them to bring the camera. I'm like, well, I can at least try to record this on my crummy phone, right? And the best part of it, I completely missed, right? And as God would have it, like it was maybe 3 days later, Barry, you called me.
Yeah.
And I forget what we were talking about, and you were
No,
like,
I called you for that. I go,
yeah.
Saw something weird. Know anything about it?
And I was like, no way, you saw it too? And so, okay, so let's back up a little bit. So I just found out that you actually saw the same thing.
That was the second time.
Okay.
Second time.
So let's do this. Explain to everybody what you saw.
Okay.
And then I do have my crummy phone footage, and so we can kind of just talk about it. But I think you'll find it at minimum very interesting.
Okay. So I guess maybe a month ago, my kids, we were out. It was dark, getting dark, and the kids were out there. Hey, what is that? What's that? There's a commotion. What are you talking about? Oh, it's just a plane or a helicopter. What are you guys doing? What is it? Nothing. Right? So I look up, and it looks like I see a light, more headlight looking than a normal plane, I would say. More like I could see it, and there was fog around it or something. So, but I'm going, it's just a helicopter or something like that.
Because it seemed like it was definitely lower.
It was lower, and it was slow moving.
Yeah.
Very slow moving.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at it, I'm going like, what is it? And then I see a smoke ring in front of it. It's like
what I saw.
Like a round smoke ring. And then I'm going like, I'm sure it's fine, guys. I'm starting to wonder myself what it is.
Right.
And then it veered off, and then the light turned off, and then there was no beeping lights. It just disappeared.
Okay.
Was it was just a solid light?
It was like a headlight of a car, like one gigantic
white
headlight
light. Yeah.
Okay.
that was shining, where I could see the smoke ring.
Yep.
And
it literally looked like it was blowing a smoke ring, and that one headlight was illuminating.
The smoke ring.
And what happened when I saw it is it made it look like an eyeball.
Well,
it had like this concave smoke ring on the front.
My wife, I didn't really know, because I was kind of looking at it going like, what is that? My wife says, she goes, you didn't see that something shot out of the middle of it that created the thing?
Whoa.
She saw that. And I'm like, I just saw the smoke ring. And for me, if I'm just going to describe it, it reminds me of Dr. Seuss riding on the thing with the big propeller on the front and the thing. It's so goofy like that.
Okay.
Huh.
That's what it reminded me of, or like a steampunk style.
Yes.
Thing.
Yeah.
With the big smoke thing in the front. But she saw like something shoot out of the middle and it like that.
Yeah.
And the weird thing was it kind of like veered off. The light went off, and I could kind of see that there was a craft or whatever it was and then I could say, "Oh, there it is," but there was no lights on it. And then
Oh,
I
weird.
watched for a while and thought maybe the lights are going to come on.
Right.
And then I didn't think much about it. And then we were coming up a different road week and a half or whenever I called you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the day after. Or
You called me a day or two after. it
yeah, a
happened.
couple days
Yeah.
afterwards, and we saw the same thing. And I'm looking at. I go, what's going on? This is weird. I pulled off the road, and I'm watching it. And once again, I saw the light, saw the smoke ring, and it started going. It was turning, and then the light went off, and then disappeared. And that was it. It was bizarre.
Yeah, so Bear's like, did you see that thing? And I was like, no way, you saw it? Because,
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
yeah, unfortunately, the footage I got is I came outside and I see this light that kind of, it turned my direction. It didn't like turn and look at me. And just for a preface, I don't think that this is any type of extraterrestrial entity. I firmly hold to this concept of the military
Yeah.
doing, and Project Bluebeam and all these other things. And a lot of these things are, the only reason that a craft would blow smoke in front of it to project a screen would be to project an image. So I clearly think, in my opinion, now the only thing that stinks about the footage that I got,
It's classic UFO footage.
yes,
It's
you can't-
blurry.
it actually
You can't really
is.
Yeah,
see
you
it.
never-
Because
Yeah.
I had an iPhone, I think 13. I got the new. If I had my new phone, I think the footage would have been way
Maybe.
better. But I missed.
Well, it's spur of the moment. So
Yeah,
it's
I
just
missed
like,
the
oh crap. Let me.
and I
film
missed the
this.
craziest part
Yeah.
with the smoke ring part, because originally I walked out the front door.
Yeah.
I
tell your
stepped.
story.
Yeah, I walked down the steps and I see this light and I think it's like a plane and I'm like, man, that's really low for a plane. No noise. So I'm like, if a plane was that low, I would
That's
totally.
true. There was no noise.
Yeah,
That's right.
I was like, if
No
a
noise.
plane was that low, I would totally hear it.
Yeah.
And then, it changed its trajectory. And when it did, that's when I saw this. It literally looked like it was projecting smoke forward, creating like
It
somebody that
looked
blows
like
smoke rings.
exactly like someone
Yeah.
just blew a gigantic smoke ring. It was like kind of just like. It
So
was
you
really-
saw it blow the smoke
Oh yeah,
around it.
I saw it, and that's
Wow.
what, and that's what I'm like, boys. I'm like, dude, this is crazy because
I didn't
yeah,
hear
because the
y'all.
way it illuminated,
Hear
it
you.
looked like a gigantic orb. It looked
Wow.
like 10 to 20 times its size, and you just watched it grow. And then I'm like, oh, I got my phone.
Yeah.
So let's share the footage
Yeah.
here.
It's
And unfortunately, by the time I turned my phone on, this projected smoke ring and illumination was
started
kind of
to
gone.
dissipate.
Yeah, it
Of
was.
course.
Yeah.
So typical.
So then let's see. I got to play this over here, and then you
Yeah.
all can see it. And I won't bore you with my commentary, but this was after.
Yeah, I think it does focus maybe later into the video, possibly.
Well, no. What happens is it's point. Okay, so I'm looking at the sky. You
Yeah.
can see all the stars in the sky. So there wasn't any like. You can see other aircraft. You can see flashing lights of other aircraft.
Oh,
See
there
that
you go.
plane?
See, it focused now.
Whoa.
Yeah, focus now.
Yeah.
The camera's that was
Is the smoke ring there yet?
yeah, it's still there.
Well,
Kinda, right?
this was but this is like
Nothing.
a tenth of the size that it was.
Wow.
Because before, when it was lower and it was blowing the smoke, it was this gigantic orb, And then I think you're going to see it. It's going to turn again, and you'll see a light source. So you'll see that it's actually a light. I think the quality
then
should be high enough to
Also, it's a little bit hard for us to see because of the glare of
the
the
glare
lights
of the lights in
Yeah.
here.
from the lights in the studio. But the other thing that you're saying in the video too is you could no longer see it, but your camera on your phone could see it.
Right. It
That
was
the
it was
crazy thing.
completely.
Invisible.
Yeah, and
to the naked
and the
eye.
other strange thing is, and you can see the stars in the sky, so there wasn't like a lot of
You
humidity.
Can back it up while you're talking.
Yeah,
Just
let's
back it up.
Let's go. Oh yeah, there you go.
yeah.
See, so when it
Yeah.
turned, it's going to turn right here, and you'll see the light source. There you
Yeah,
go.
look at it. It
and
does
you see
turn.
it,
Yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
it does these weird, unexplainable movements.
I
that
didn't notice that. I didn't notice any movements like that. That's bizarre.
because originally when I saw it, it was just a glow. There
Yeah.
was no light source, and I'm like,
I could
"Man, that's
definitely
so-"
tell it was low, like either a helicopter, but it didn't move like a helicopter at all, and you don't have something in front of it.
Right.
Helicopter.
And there was
also helicopters and planes don't have halos around them either, like that.
right, and there was zero sound, and you could see a couple really
Back it up.
you could see a couple really high planes at major altitude that were
Yeah.
flashing and whatnot. But this thing, and it was moving really wild, erratically all over the place, and it turned away and it went off into the distance and just kind of disappeared. Totally insane. But you can see how clear the night sky was. It was very, so whatever it was definitely creating its own.
Yeah, I think that
Light source.
I was staring at it, and by the time, like, my wife saw the thing, I saw something shoot out of it, and all of a sudden the cloud thing happened. I think I was just too busy trying to, what is it that watching the thing form the little ring around it that I didn't really see it shoot out, but she did.
Weird.
And it's weird that we saw it twice.
That's crazy.
But after we saw the string of lights thing,
Okay.
it's like
Starlink.
you're sort of
Yes.
you're part of it going, okay, whose thing is this?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
Exactly.
So
Yes, this was wild, and we both happened to see it at the same time,
that was the
and I
craziest
happened
part.
to get it on video, and then you happened to call me.
I just thought
strange.
I wonder if you guys have heard, or I figured maybe you heard about it or something.
Yeah,
I didn't
no.
know that you were gonna go, hey, I just saw that last night.
Yeah.
And I wish I had gotten all the footage of it because it was very. But yeah, so all that being said, unidentified flying object. I mean, I clearly it had a visible light source.
Yeah.
I believe that it's probably some type of.
Yeah.
The very next day on Twitter, there was 2 postings about all of this. U.S. airspace, military U.S. airspace activity, and somebody plotted a map, and I mean it was unbelievable. Like they were like, this is like unprecedented military activity in U.S. airspace.
Also, if any of y'all have seen anything similar to this and have
Or similar.
caught it on video or anything, please email us and send the footage over. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We could do a
I'm
compilation.
like you as far as like you're wondering like, okay, I don't necessarily think it could be like military. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's the part inside you goes, that's something crazy, but then there's the other part that goes, well, it could be not helicopter based, but like a military type of thing. So,
yes, of course. Yeah.
So maybe someone else is.
Yeah, we know they have black
something like this.
helicopters that are quiet, that don't make any noise. We know about all the World War II tech and all the stuff that the Nazis had. Matt does a great job. Matt Arrett in his UFO series. He's released the first section of that, and it's very interesting how it's tied to the occult and different things. But we had a great conversation. If y'all missed that was on the Fearless podcast. So go check that out. But it was so funny and kind of ironic
It was.
that we posted that podcast, and it was the next week. And then we see this thing.
Crazy.
And then Barry calls me.
Also, you saw something
Yeah.
out here, right?
Yeah,
That's
actually,
bizarre too.
that was the other weird thing because I didn't tell anybody, but it was probably literally maybe 2 days before you saw that thing, or the night previous to that.
Where it was completely different looking though, right?
Yeah, it was. But I was just taking a leak off the back porch.
That's what we do, y'all. We out in the country.
And I was just looking up at the night sky, and there was a triangle of lights. And I was like, what the heck is that? And yeah, it was nuts.
Not the string of lights.
No,
you
it was a
you see that
perfect-
too?
Yeah, that's
I've
Starlink.
seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I see that, I'm like, that's Starlink. But I saw a perfect triangle of three dots, and they're there for only like a second, and then they like
That's
quick
bizarre.
fade off like
Yeah,
that.
it's
You know,
wild.
unlike a plane where you'll see it for like a real long time. You know, it's weird.
Well,
Yeah, so hey, leave your comments down below. Let us know if you've seen anything like that. If you can get us some footage,
That would be
we could
awesome.
do a compilation. I want to thank Barry for taking his time
problem.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
be to have a star-studded, like, this is our
Encounter.
inaugural in
I can't believe I'm the first
studio.
Yeah.
mystery guest. Wow.
I mean, yeah, you are just you are practically royalty.
it might be my
Yeah.
first. Usually second or third or fourth, but
But yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out, Bear. Thanks
Awesome.
y'all for watching. If you like and enjoy the content that we're putting out, it is value for value. Going over to TheTexasBoys.com. We got the food farce in a box. It's flying off the shelves, y'all.
Yeah, it is.
So hurry up, get you some. We got the cuttings, we got the coffee, we got the honey,
Yeah.
we got the tea.
The next 10 people that buy the food farce in the box, we are throwing in a free black mulberry pack. So
Act now.
act now. So there you go.
All right, y'all. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next video.
All right. See y'all later. Bye-bye.